Let me see if I'm actually live. Just for some reason, unless I'm not playing it. Okay, there we go. I think it's starting. It's going up. Can you see me, David? I can't even see myself right now. Something's going on. What the heck? There we go. Test. There we go. Okay, so there. I'll mute myself. Oh, not much. I'm gonna do my stream Saturday, but right now I'm just too busy that I can't, or too busy on the weekends that I can't. So that's a thing. Get some more tea into me. The stream quality is showing. The internet can totally see. Oh, okay. I don't know why it's not green, but that's beside the point. Let me move that over. So I have the chat over there. I'm going to actually pause myself. So I bought a GrandStream VOIP IP-PBX appliance. So I'm going to be setting that up shortly. I don't know when I'm going to do it, but have you tried? No, I haven't used the new one. Is amazing, and you can preview before going live. I remember you mentioning that earlier. Let me go to it actually. Let me see. Create. I don't even know how to go to it. Go live. I'm already live. No upcoming streams, so the stream. See, I don't really know how to even enable monetization. I'm assuming this is it, but I stream through XSplit, right? Oops, let me turn that off. Hey, no worries. That's it. Okay, well, maybe I'll try to figure it out. I'll watch someone's YouTube video on it. I don't know. I don't honestly know how to create a title, add description. Is this what Tom uses? Table, made for kids, create stream. I don't want to do it right now. Maybe I'll test it afterwards. Because right now I have like my stream key put into XSplit. I'll show you guys XSplit. This is what XSplit looks like. Now you're going to see a bunch of pictures, but you know, I've just been using it for so long that it makes everything easier for me to do and to switch to something new. To the instance, go live and then preview at the top. Oh, okay. You prefer, you know what? I just never used OBS. I tried one time. I used to stream video games a long time ago on Twitch and YouTube. I tried to do it on YouTube as well, and I just couldn't figure out OBS, and not that I really put that much time into it. I probably only put in like an hour trying to figure it out. So yeah, what I was saying, I got this. Actually, you guys should be able to see it. Got this, the PBX, so that is the UCM 6202. I had one of these years ago, and I actually did a GrandStream training course, but I never did anything with it because I had a 6202 and I bricked it. I tried some firmware update and it totally bricked it. I couldn't get anything. I couldn't get it back up, so I kind of gave up on VoIP at the time. And then I bought a GXP 1630, which is just one of their phones. I'm gonna get one of their Android-based phones eventually, but for now, while setting that up, I just bought a cheaper phone. You use a UDM Pro. What do you use it for? Like, I'm using a UDM Pro right now as well. I have run into a few issues with it. The biggest issue actually that I ran into was my uap-ac light kept showing disconnecting and would not come back up. I actually had to reset the full UDM Pro back to factory default. And then it finally came back up. And sometimes these disconnect as well. I don't understand it, but... Also, another thing with the UDM Pro, so I'm going to do a video today on how to access SSH and stuff like that. It's fairly straightforward, but you do have to do something, enable SSH in the settings on the UDM Pro to actually access your UDM Pro. SSH for all your other devices is pretty straightforward to set up. But one thing that doesn't show up when you set up a VPN is this right here to see your actual VPN connections. So I'm going to go ahead on my phone and I'm going to connect to it. and it still won't show up. It doesn't matter how long you wait, the VPN connection won't show up. Connect. About the LAN IP, let's go to the questions. I don't know. Let me see. Let's go to some of my comments. I think I might have. Comments. So let me take a look. Let me just search for your picture. Yeah, I must have, because let me look for the response. What was the question about the LAN IP if I can't find it? That's all the questions? There's got to be more comments than that. Okay, here we go. There is a crap ton. Oh, above in the chat. I don't actually see it. It's not in the chat. I don't see your comment. No, it doesn't say. It just says I use a UDM Pro. This is all I see right now. Is this right here? Yeah. So the UDM Pro's been fine for me right now. I actually sold my Cloud Key Gen 2, so I can't really go back to that now. Do I have another Cloud Key? I'm not too sure. If not, I'm just going to bring everything actually to a hosted provider. That's what I do right now with some of my clients. But yeah, this was that was a bit of a nightmare trying to get that access point back online. Another thing that I don't like is the you only could have one site, which kind of sucks. GrandStream. Let's go to the GrandStream site. So I'm interested in actually getting to learn some of these solutions better and actually being able to provide a VoIP solution to customers. I know Unifi is coming out with some IP, you know, they have it right in the controller, right? In the UDM Pro. Let's see. They have this actual talk to install, but I think it's still in, yeah, it's in beta, right? So I would need to get, I would assume in a Unifi phone, which let's look up how much they are. I think they're about $200 and something. And I don't even know if in Canada you could get them. Doesn't look like there. Let's look in the US store. Oops. Protect VoIP. Yeah, I don't think we could get them here. So $199 and they're sold out, which I like the look of the phone though. Like, it looks really nice. I'm assuming that's just like an Android-based tablet on the back end of it. Let's see if they actually have any of these on Amazon. I'd love to get my hands on one of them. And just looks like GrandStream stuff. Amazon.com. Yeah, it doesn't even have the price on here. That's odd. See, I don't know if this talk is an actual voice controller, like a PBX type thing. So I might install it and then take a look at it. Another thing with the UDM Pro, I'm looking at certain commands for command line, and you can't actually, it's not the same. It's a different OS compared to like the USG. So you can't do any show commands. I'll add that in the video as well. I know some people were interested in actual command line stuff, but I don't think there is too much you could do. The main thing that I would like to look at is actual counters for interface errors, like CRC errors. That way we know when we have there's a bad cable. And I don't think you could really do that on here. Whoops, that's not what I want. Like the switch stats, they just, you know, they're showing transmit and receive packets. Customize columns. Let's see if we could actually add that. I use Let's Encrypt on my Synology NAS. Are you familiar with importing the CA on the... I am not, no. But let me look into that because I need to install something like that onto my Synology. let's encrypt. So that was, let's encrypt your CA. Okay. Let me look into that. Yeah, so I don't see any transmit errors. Like there should be like CRC errors and stuff like that. No, that's not, actually that's not what I'm looking for. So I'm looking for like input errors, CRC errors. I guess transmit and receive errors could show you. But usually you look at input errors and CRC errors if you have a physical layer 1 issue. I don't have any Cisco stuff on right now, but if you're familiar with Cisco, you go like show IP interface whatever fast Ethernet 1/1, and it will actually list all the counters of the interface. Like I don't really care about transmit. Let me see if they're frames. Okay, so TX errors. Unless the TX errors is kind of like the CRC and input errors on the Cisco stuff, I don't know. But it'd be interesting to see, like maybe I'll take one of these ports and I'll actually like break the cable and see if it actually increments errors. Let's clear the counters on that. There we go. Another thing that I noticed, somebody asked me if you could do link aggregation on the UDM Pro, and you can't, which kind of sucks. So I wanted to take, say, port 7 and 8 and then put them in a lag group. You can't. Like even on the profile overrides, the only thing that you could do is change the link speed, which is a bit of a pain in the butt. But I guess if you're wanting to do all that, you're going to, move to the USG Pro 4 and then have a bunch of different switches in your environment. I have a US 24 as well. It's not plugged in right now because I don't actually need it. Migrating to a CloudKey Gen 2, am I trying to do it from the UNMS, but I am getting errors trying to import. Isn't UNMS a different... I've never actually used UNMS. I think that's a different controller altogether. Like the this is for like your point-to-point and point-to-multipoint, I believe. I don't think you could actually put those other devices into that controller. You know what? Let me get that. Host UNMS yourself locally without limitations. Yeah, I don't think you can. I think it's just the Unifi controller that you put on there. I actually haven't done too much point-to-point stuff. I have a... Actually, let me grab it. I forget what it is. I bought this, what was it? The NanoStation AC Loco. And I've never used it because I think you need another one. Yeah, so you have to download UNMS. Maybe I'll grab another one and do some testing with these. Because it's just sitting here right now doing absolutely nothing. It's never been used. But, I don't know. That'd be something that I could do. I don't have too many clients ask for this type stuff. For point-to-point stuff. It's just the regular Unifi. Oh, okay. It's in the Unifi. Oh, I was going to say, yeah. So it's pretty easy to migrate from Unifi controller to Unifi controller, and even if you mess up, you could just grab your configs and then load it into your new into the new one. Whoops. What else is there? Internet security. I've gotten a lot of false alerts from it. I actually just turned it back on. I've been getting alerts for... I had alerts. I don't think I have any anymore because I had to do the reboot. But it's for stuff like connecting... When I was connecting to Xbox Live, it was popping up alerts and stuff like that saying someone from the States was trying to attack me, which is probably going to happen from time to time. But besides that... Let me get this. I'm going to download that after. Actually, I'll do it after the stream. I did mess up and had to restore from backup. I mean, if it's not a production network, if it's your house, then it's not so bad. But if you're doing it live in the field, you're probably going to want to wait till after hours anyway, just in case you run into any issues. That's what I would do. Like, I don't do any firmware upgrades or anything during business hours typically. Yeah. I don't know. The USG Pro has been good enough for me. It's for now anyway. I want to upgrade my network to a full 10 gig network, but that's going to cost a crap ton of money. So nothing too bad. Oh, okay. Well, that's not bad. Like, I was looking at the MikroTik 10 gig switch. Oh, that's actually not that bad. I thought that was more money. Oh, ships. That's American. That's why. Amazon.ca. MikroTik 10 GB switch. So it's $259 here, which isn't that bad for a 10 gig switch if you look at the Unifi stuff. Whoops. That is for a 10 gig switch. You're looking at, where the heck are they? Is that the only one they have? The 16XG? Oh, they always are more expensive, yeah. Because our dollar's crap, right? I'm actually coming to Florida. I'll be going to Florida in... When am I going to Florida? I think it's the end of August. It would be nice if I could pick up some stuff there. Like, this is insane. The Unifi XG is $1,000. I actually just had to quote on some Unifi. I don't even know if they'll show up here. Unifi. What was it again? I forget. I don't even know if it's in the store. It was the SH. Oh, it's right here. $730. So it's for a retail store. They want 2 of these installed there. I don't know. 2 of these installed. They want a USG Pro 4 and a couple other things. But, like, that's insane for that price. I think they just want to use, I think it's called Airwave or something like that. You track people based on IP. You could actually scan the networks live. I think these actually have 3 controllers built in. So if you look at a normal AP, where's the tools, and do the scan, you could actually do the scan live and stuff like that. So that'd be pretty cool to actually test out. But besides that, I don't have a whole ton to say today. Like, I'm just gonna get this. I'll get another Unifi video out probably today on the SSH stuff. That's pretty basic stuff. I'll show you some command line stuff within the UDM Pro. There's only a few commands that I actually have found. But like I said, with this, when you go to Insights for the VPN connections, it doesn't actually show any connections. My phone, I think, is connected right now. Let me take a look. I believe it's connected. Yeah, it's connected to the VPN, and it's still not showing up. I'm hoping they come out with the 10 gig switch with LCD to match. I don't really care for the LCDs. Like, it is a cool feature, and but like, I set up my Pro and then I leave it. I haven't looked at that LCD in so long. The only thing I could see doing on it is if I noticed it getting too hot and then pumping up the fan speed. Besides that, I don't really care. And the Unifi AR is actually kind of cool, but I don't know if any of you guys watched Chris's video on the AR. If you could actually touch the port and it would come up with port information, I think that would be amazing. And it would be only really useful if you're like looking at a stack of 10 switches or something like that. For my UDM Pro, like, I'm pretty sure I know what the 6 connections or 5 connections I have. I only have 4 connections that are going into it. So I'm also going to get I haven't got it yet. I might actually order it today. The SFP port, the copper port for this top WAN. And then I'm going to bring my other internet connection down and I'm going to test the load balancing. The AR needs more developing. Yeah, but honestly, it's really cool. I've never seen anybody else do it like that, right? It does need more developing. But I don't know who stacks their switches, this way. I know Chris was saying if you stack your switches that way, take a video, it'll still go horizontally. I don't know if I would stack switches that way. I usually put them in a rack. Yeah, well, it's not really, well, yeah, I do have dual internet, but it's just, I'm going to test. The other one's like a cheap internet line. It's like 10 megabits per second down. I just want to test the failover. And I believe there's load balancing within this, is there not? If there is, I haven't tried load balancing yet. Let's see. Alright, well, it doesn't come up, but I think you can do load balance. I also want to do static routes. Right now, obviously, I don't really have any routes, because really it's just my UDM Pro and then out to the internet. I'm not connecting to another USG or something like that. I could do a video on radius, the wireless radius stuff. I know who wants this. Oh, really? There's no load balancing? Oh, crap. Okay, well, then I'll test the WAN failover. Let me just see. Who is it? EboSac wanted me to do the to do some radius for wired connections. I need to figure that out still. I believe you need a Windows server to do that. Not 100% sure though. That kind of sucks that there's really load balancing. UDM Pro requested. Crap. Been debating on whether to get you. Okay. Since that could limit VLAN routing. Okay, whatever. I mean, like the UDM Pro, if you don't need layer 3, you know, like layer 3 for switching for the VLAN routing. Typically you're going to put this in a house environment. I wouldn't deploy too many of these in a business. Let me just see here. I'd like to implement WAN load balancing, as right now has no support. Alright, well I guess there isn't, so I won't be testing that out. But when and if it does ever come out, I'll test the load balancing. So we'll test to see the actual WAN failover to see if we see any actual loss. So I'll just unplug my main, and then hopefully it just takes right over within like a second. But I don't know how long that will take. So I'm going to go ahead. I'll order a SFP from Ubiquiti, a copper one, and then we'll test that out. $460. Yeah, like $259 for a switch. That's not that bad, but you only get 4 ports. Right now I don't even have any 10 gig network cards to plug into it anyway, so it doesn't matter. But on that note, I think I'm out of here. I'm going to do the other video today. I'm going to start doing some VoIP stuff if you guys are interested in that. I know most of you are probably here for Unifi stuff, but there's only so much I could do with the equipment I have. I might get some point-to-point to point-to-multipoint things set up, and then we could do more testing with that. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a good weekend, and I will be live next week, hopefully next Saturday, seeing as most of you wanted me to do it on Saturdays. All right, guys, take care.